You're listening to a 58 Ember production.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Completely Fucking Clueless podcast. My name is Sarah Alice Liddy, and I have one of my best friends and roommates here, Liz.
Hello, how are you?
Audrey has stranded us and went to Utah to go skiing with her family because she's such a bougie bitch.
So much fun. Very jealous.
I know, honestly. She keeps sending me different Snapchats of her in a robe, and I'm like, and I'm working my 9-to-5 corporate job.
I have seen the TikToks and I am back at work, very upset. Not that upset, actually, if anyone from work is listening. I'm very happy at work.
I love my job. Don't fire me.
Just can't believe we're back.
I literally, I feel like the holiday season, I said this for a couple episodes, I just feel like it's gone by so fast.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
A lot has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we're here in January.
It is January 2024, baby.
I thought you were going to say it's January 20th, and I was like, I don't think it is.
No, can you imagine? It's just like,
I know. And we're there. Anyways, for the people that did not, so Liz has actually been on the podcast before. If you haven't been watching since that time, Liz came on with Audrey's bestie, Julia Perry, but we thought it would be fun to do an episode just the two of us because, as you guys know, I moved into this apartment. We're literally sitting in our apartment right now with Liz about 2 months ago now.
Yes.
And we thought it would be interesting to just talk about it and talk about moving to the city, living together, because it's such a different and new experience that you have in your 20s, and it's different than college, more expensive than college. So yeah, for the people that don't know you, just give them a little 30-second, this is who I am.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Hello, CFC podcast. My name is Liz. I have been on the podcast before. I think I was a little bit more quiet last one because I was very nervous. But I've known Sarah since middle school.
Indeed.
We are now roomies, as you heard. 2 months living in now, and I am a corporate girly working in marketing.
Yeah.
Love it over at Barnard College.
Holler.
Great spot to work at, actually.
Yeah, it's such a pretty area between Barnard and Columbia. It's all really pretty up there.
Very, very pretty.
Yeah.
Right now they have the holiday trees up at Columbia.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's stunning.
I know. I've never been to go and see it and walk into it when it's happening.
You should come.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I really should. I haven't been to that area in so long.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
It's so cute, and everyone's just very nice around there too.
That's good.
So it's a fun place. But yeah, that's me. I'm Liz. I'm a Gemini, if that's part of the part that I have to add.
I know. I feel like it's such a Gen Z thing, whatever the next generation is, to be hi, my name is Sarah and I'm a Pisces. It's a defining thing. Yeah. So I feel when you're in a corporate office and you're doing your introductions, it's your name, a fun fact, your pronouns. It should also be your sign.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Because then you get to know why people are the way that they are in the office.
I know. That's
true.
That makes sense. That makes sense. It's because you're this way. So let's get into it. Because something I want to start with, because I didn't realize this until you said it at Audrey's pregame the other day to our friend Christine, but your first move out experience was not in college.
It was not. No.
Yeah. So how was that for you? When you subletted last spring, kind of walk us through why you wanted to do that and what you were looking to get out of it.
For sure. So, when I started college, back in 2016, everyone went either out of state or upstate, pretty far away from our hometown.
Yeah.
And I chose a school that was 15 minutes away. So there was really no need for me to live at college. So I commuted for all 4 years. I was a little harsh on myself. When that first happened, just because I felt like I wasn't getting the real college experience that you see in the movies and you hear your friends talk about and everything.
Yeah, sure.
But overall, it was great. I mean, I saved money, which it's huge.
Right.
Was able to work from home and not from home, but work at our hometown. And yeah, I first moved out in April.
Yeah.
No, I didn't actually.
Oh.
No. So, I saw that your college friend Daniela
Yes.
was subletting her apartment from April to May, and I reached out to her and I paid for the month of April. Didn't live in the apartment in April, Danielle, in case you didn't know, because I don't think I ever told her. But it was a big transitional period for me at work. So I was going back and forth from my new job over here at Barnard to Manhattanville, and it was too much for me to do.
Yeah.
Just in the month of April, but in May I said I have to do it.
Yeah. I mean, as we like know from like our own moving experience, moving is like a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a huge undertaking, especially like I think what was different about this move from my college move is like with college, like yes, you need a lot of things, but it's not like things like this. Like I remember when I moved into like my college dorm my first year, you know, like you don't need a bed and a couch and all of these other things. Like you can fit most of everything you're going to need in your college dorm, like in your trunk.
Yeah.
So that's what was really different about this experience where you need to like hire movers and like now like maybe you don't want a shitty couch or like shitty furniture because like you're an adult now but that means just like a lot more money.
A lot more money for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But funny enough, I subletted from two of your college friends, one being Daniela and the other Hannah, and around the area that we're at too. So that helped with the moving process for sure because I was familiar with the area. So I think I was able to give some advice on, like this area isn't the best.
No, for
like,
sure.
Over here is a little better.
That's something I didn't really know. Like going into this process was just like, you know, which space was going to be good. But when you moved in with Christine, since she was your first like roommate experience, like how was that?
It was great, honestly.
Okay, cool.
And I did tell her during New Year's Eve, I was like, for her to have been my first ever roommate for the amount of days, because it wasn't even a full 2 weeks at that point. It was honestly great. She is so talented, so there would be a couple of days.
Christine.
Yeah, literally. There would be a couple of days where she would warn me the night before that she had an audition the next day, and she would be practicing in the morning, and I would just wake up to the most angelic like voice.
Yeah.
And that was really, really cool. So I really could not have asked for a much better first roommate.
Yeah.
And I feel like we did get along like pretty well. We had an elote stand out front.
Wait, what? Is it
we need
still
to go.
there?
It's still there, yeah.
Oh my
it's
God.
by the C-Town down there, yeah.
It is literally, like, elote, Mexican corn, is one of my favorite foods ever. Like, I don't know. Like, I could just, like, eat it and eat it and eat it.
So I went shopping. I did grocery shopping, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just get us a little treat.
Aww.
And I remember I got us esquites, and we just stayed and talked, and then just chilled, and it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool for sure.
Yeah, I feel you. I had a really good first roommate experience. But like even prior to that, like when you were a kid, did you ever go to sleepaway camp or anything? Or was this like your first like true like roommate experience?
Young Life.
Oh, the cult.
The cult.
The cult.
The cult, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Young Life was my first sleepaway.
Okay.
And it was, I think, only a week.
Yeah.
But it was with all my friends. So.
Yeah. It's so interesting, like living dynamics, because I don't know if I've ever really talked about this on the podcast that much, but I am the only girl on both sides of my family. So no sisters, no girl cousins. And so like, I feel like, I mean, I went to sleepaway camp a bunch as a kid. And so that was like my first sort of experiences. But then when I moved to like college, obviously that was like my first like ever really like living like by myself with one other woman. And my freshman roommate, Emily, she was amazing. I love her. She was like such a gem and so easy to live with. My second year, my sophomore year experience was a wild fucking ride.
I actually remember FaceTiming you your freshman year and us like doing the getting readies and like all of that. That was fun.
That's when I really started like my whole thing with like makeup and like taking 300 hours to get ready was my freshman year because I just found so much like peace in the like act of putting on makeup because it really does like take your full attention. And so I didn't have time to like think about anything else. So I miss it.
Definitely polar opposites, because I would do my makeup in the car in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And for those of you who have seen,
Liz literally could do her makeup anywhere. That is like the most interesting thing about
except
you.
the subway, I will not do my makeup ever on the subway. That
Tea.
is a no, a hard no for me.
But literally, like, we would like be on, like, when we lived back in Westchester, we would get on the Metro North together, and you would not have any makeup on, and by the time we were off, and like you would like even prior to that, you could fit your whole face of makeup like in a purse.
Bag, yeah. Or my nails. The
Yes.
press on nails.
Yes.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, you and Aaron both with like bringing press on nails and just like putting them on. I'm like, how do you guys do this? Like, I just could never. My brain would be like all scrambled and all over the place.
I feel like it's a distraction. Like,
Really?
if you're not pre-gaming on the train.
Yeah.
Well, or maybe you could do a little bit of both, you know?
Yeah,
But
like, I mean, your nail may come out funky unky.
well, just a little bit, but it adds to the plot, you know, of the night.
yeah, for sure. Okay, so now like all these questions are going to be more like geared to the both of us and like our experience in the last like couple of months with the whole like moving process and everything. So, how did you know you were ready to like really move out?
When you asked me.
Oh, really? Okay.
When you asked me. Well, I did have at the beginning of 2023, I
Yes.
tried it out.
Yeah, like with the subletting. Yeah.
Because I wanted to see if I was ready.
Yeah.
Loved living in the city. Absolutely adored it. Always have wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that was a great first stepping stone. But then after the second sublet was over, I went back home. I moved back home, and it was good. I mean, loved living at home, but
Yeah.
I needed something more. And then when you asked me, and you can tell the story,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I really am ready for this. And absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's like such an interesting like feeling to know like you're ready. Like, I mean, even like post college, like of course I wanted to move out, but I think I couldn't do that financially.
Yes.
Like, I truly feel like the first step for me, even really considering it, like for real, was like getting my job, because now I knew like, okay, like I can at least like meet my parents in a financial place. Like if they need to help me pay my rent, or I could possibly pay my rent by myself, which I do. Holler.
Yes.
But I feel like before then, because the first 2 years post grad, I was kind of trying to figure out like what I was doing, where I was going, what I wanted. I just didn't have enough money for it. And that made it really hard. Not that I didn't like living at home, sort of like what you said. And I've said this a bunch, like I had a positive experience living at home, but I think it just like sort of became time.
Yeah.
Like
you crave more. Like you crave the
Right.
independence.
Right. Like I just missed what I had in college because I was like, oh, back then, like you don't have to talk to your parents every day. You don't have to like run things by them. Like you're your own self and making decisions and living for yourself, which that's what I love about living alone. But yeah, that was like when I first knew. And then I had the whole process of like gearing myself up to ask you, because as we know, you guys, I'm not that great of a communicator. And I was really nervous because back in college, I went through like a couple years where I was really depressed. And I love my college and roommate and one of my besties, Steph.
Shout out, Steph.
Shout out, Steph.
Love you.
But I was really nervous because I felt like those 2 years that I was depressed, I was like, oh my gosh, like, am I ruining her experience? Like, am I like having this impact on her and making her feel down and taking her down with me, that I didn't want to ever do that to anybody ever again? So I was sort of like, what do I do? You know, do I ask one of my close friends? Do I try and find somebody random, which I didn't love the idea of. Like that just honestly gives me more anxiety.
Yeah. Agreed.
How was it living with people that you didn't know in the sublets?
It was good. Yeah, it was good. Like there was no negative to it. The second person that was like my roomie over at Hannah's.
Yeah.
He was great too.
Yeah.
We had 1 or 2 movie nights, which I was like, this is great.
Oh, that's good.
I was in the city during Pride, and I remember we talked about meeting up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really excited because our downstairs neighbor was throwing a pride party.
Aw.
Yeah, and I missed it by a day. Like, I thought it was the following day, so I texted him. He's like, girlie, the party's going on right now. And I'm like,
girlie, the party's today.
I am over at Hens, and I cannot make it.
Yeah.
I really wanted to.
Oh, my gosh.
But it was great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was
That's good because I feel like it probably could go either way. Because I have a friend from college who moved to the city and moved in with somebody that she didn't know, and it was sort of that way. And I feel like when your living situation is stressful, like your life is stressful.
Well, I also think I like internally, I knew it wasn't a forever thing.
True,
I had an end date.
True.
It wasn't, I wasn't going to stay the whole time in the city. It was 1 month that I was there, a couple weeks, however long it was.
Yeah.
So that definitely helped.
Yeah. And for anybody that may not know this, like, especially in the theater profession, like people are coming in and out of New York City all the time because they're doing gigs like all over the country, sometimes even the world. And so a lot of the times people will like move to New York City and get like a long-term lease. And then when they have jobs that take them elsewhere, they will sublet it out and people will rent their rooms.
Yeah.
And I just happen to know a lot of people that sublet because there's always people I know going in and out of the city.
And thank you for that. Because I met Hannah when we went out for dinner. We went out to Harlem Public.
Yes. Wait, when we run into them that time?
We ran into them, yeah.
And that was the first time you guys met?
That was the first time I met her.
God,
and
love
then
Hannah.
I had mentioned that my sublet was about to run out, expire.
Yeah.
And I think we followed each other on Instagram, and she DM'd me. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah. Let's stay in the city one more month.
Yeah. No,
why
because
not?
it's stressful to like try and find somebody. Like I can't imagine that. So yeah. And it's even like, I wonder from like a subletter's point of view, like trusting somebody with your space and everything like that. That kind of scares me too.
Same.
Yeah.
I know we're not allowed to sublet here, but I don't even think I would
I
feel
wouldn't.
comfortable doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless it's like a national tour or something that's like really big, then I would probably do it. But but it definitely is a part of like a theater person's life. So that's a whole like kind of different vibe and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't think have I ever told you listen to the podcast a lot. So have I ever told the story of me, how I asked you to be my roommate on this podcast?
I think you have, but we could definitely tell it again.
Okay, I probably have because I was like, I really feel like I have, but I'll say it again. But yeah, I feel like I was sort of like, I sort of have known that I was like, I think we would be good roommates. I felt like we were in a very similar spot in life as each other. Like we had spent the last year prior, we had spent a lot of time together. And I was like, I feel like we could like really get along and kind of mesh well. And then also, a lot of our other friends who are in relationships are actually moving in like with their partners. And I spoke about that at length on this podcast that I just like wasn't ready for that yet. But it took me a while to actually ask you because I was sort of like going back and forth just with myself. Like, do I want to move? Do I not want to move? Like, what do I want to do? And my mom's a therapist. So she was like really pushing for me to move because her therapy brain is like, you need to individuate. And I'm like, shut up. Like,
Let me be.
I'm fine. But no, both my parents were like ready for me to leave, which I think is so funny because then my mom is like crying because we're not
when
there.
Are you coming home?
Right. They're like asking me if I'll come to Sunday dinner. And I'm like, you were the one that told me to leave, But no, I agree with them. It was time. So then at Hens one night, I finally think I had enough to drink to like finally be like, hey, do you want to live together? And I think I said to you that I was like really nervous about it and that like we needed to communicate.
I think you might have prefaced it by, I need to tell you something. I was like,
oh
my gosh, what is it?
Not me being that person.
I was
Oh
like,
my
okay.
gosh.
And then like you were just like, would you ever want to move in together? I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm so honored. And I know we've spoke about the honor that you bestow upon us when you ask us
Yes.
things.
Oh yeah. If you guys have never heard this on the podcast either, I tend to like, and I don't even realize that I do it, but with my close friends in life, I tend to like bestow some sort of like responsibility on you. Like Audrey took photos of me in lingerie. Like you like helped me with my broken arm and now we're living together.
Yeah.
So like I tend to do this like weird shit.
And I think it might have been after our annual Met Day that it happened.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. We go to the Met every year together to see the exhibit that they do at what's it called? For the Met Gala. Yes. The Costume Institute. Yeah, something like that.
Where you get your annual book that you've been killing it 2 years in a row.
My God,
we can pull it out here.
Hold on, you guys.
Yes.
So
we have a nice little setup too.
We do. Basically every year, or at least the last 2 years, Liz and I have gone to the Met together to see the Costume Institute. And the first year we went to the gift shop and I found this book called New York in 4 Seasons.
It's so cute.
By Michael Storings. And it's just like so freaking cute. Like it's, let me try and see if I can open this with one hand.
Throwback to when I ordered mine from Walmart and they lost it and I never got it. I never got a refund.
Walmart.
R.I.P.
You know what you could do? You could send us one. Here, I'm going to show you guys like
It's
one
so cute.
page. Like I'm trying to see. Hopefully you guys can see that.
St.
But
Patrick's
they
Cathedral.
it just has such cute illustrations. And I don't know what I thought about when I bought this book was like one day I could be reading this to my kids and telling them about, because we proceeded to have the craziest night after we, guys, this book survived me being in a bar piss wasted till like 3 a.m.
Like 4 bars.
Yeah, 4
that
bars.
was like the night with 4 bars. Yeah.
We just like, so because after we went to dinner and then we were like, let's get a drink. And we just proceeded to bar hop like all night. And and so I was like, I'm gonna write a note to my kids in this being
if
like,
you do that, we'll do an insert photo here because I do have the photo here.
Yeah, literally. So that's this book. And then this year,
I can hold it if you want.
Here, I'm just gonna put them on the ground. And then this year I got this book. It's called New York Through a Fashion Eye, and it's by Megan Hess.
It's iconic.
And it's another just like beautiful illustrations. And basically in the book it names a bunch of different places, like infamous places in New York City. It opened on the Met Gala invitation.
See, it is meant to be ladies and gentlemen and all in between.
Oh, guys, come on. Please tell me that isn't fate. What's her name? Anna Wintour must invite us to the Met
There
now.
we go.
Anna. This
Sponsored.
Is literally
Not
invite
sponsored,
us.
just kidding.
But no, yeah. And so I loved this book too. So let's hope year 3 I will get another good book.
Yes.
Because this year I didn't even think I was going to find a book.
We weren't looking for one. We were
Yeah.
just like, let's go in for shits and giggles.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I got that amazing book last year. Like, I don't need anything. And then I spotted it.
And it was the last one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I spotted it. I was like, I need this book. So yes, that is our little like Met tradition. And then yes, I must have asked you that night. Because this year we didn't go as crazy because the next day we were going to Belmar to go day drinking with my dad.
Where someone recognized you.
Yes.
That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was a like a scary thing to do, but we did it. And then after me telling you, we waited a little bit because honestly, like that was before I knew I got my job full time. So I was like, hey, like I have to wait and figure out like, am I gonna get am I gonna get a full time job because I won't be able to pay for like a living space if not. And then once I did get my full time job, I was like, I need to wait a month to like just process everything. Like there was a lot of change happening in my life and I was like, oh my God, I can't do all of it at once.
No, and it's crazy to see because our timeline was we'll start looking November to December. And the timeline was sped up very, very quickly.
Yeah, because I mean, that's what they don't tell you. I mean, or maybe they do tell you. I just didn't know this. When you start looking for an apartment in New York City, it goes so fucking fast.
So fast. Like literally I decided one day, I think it was the first week of October, to just like download Zillow. And I just started seeing all these things and I was like, Liz, what about this place? What about this place? And I just started like sending you things. And that's how we came across like the first apartment that we decided to look at. And like the realtor, like the next day was like, come look at it. I was like, what the fuck? This is so fast for me. Like I was thinking like next week, you know? And so, and the process then just like went. And what did you think of the whole like finding an apartment process? Well, I definitely think we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and your mom.
Oh, thanks.
Because I was so busy at work.
You were, you had a lot going on.
It was just nonstop go. I was helping out other accounts. It was go over here, do this, do that, and it helped a lot. And I felt like I wasn't helping enough in like the searching process, but you guys really Like,
I just loved it. I thought I was on my own TV show on HGTV.
Yes.
I was like Sarah in the city finding an apartment. Like I was just like kind of living for it.
You started decorating it in your head. I remember you telling me that. You're like, well, this could go here. This could go there. And it's like, I love this.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, let's get it going. And also, like I feel like my mom really helped me and was like, hey, like, okay, like this would be good. This may not be good. Like, hey, like I'll never forget the second apartment we saw was on a lower floor.
Yes.
And we walked in and knew we didn't want it. But something that we did not think about that my mom pointed out was like there was a fire escape on the building. And my mom was like, hey, somebody can like easily jump up on that and like get in your window.
I'm like, huh, that's
I was like,
fair
wow.
point.
Like you wouldn't want to think that people would do that, but like people will do it.
And we're we're higher up now.
Yeah.
That it feels nice.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just like, oh, like I feel safe.
100%. All right, y'all. We decided to get a glass of wine for the rest of the episode because, duh.
Our moving in glasses.
I know.
Yes,
cheers. I remember finding these at Home Goods. LOL. Every time we cheers, we have to like intensely look at each other because that is what Audrey does, and she is just like bestowed this tradition upon us.
If I don't do it, it feels weird.
It does feel weird. It does feel weird.
Can't have bad sex for 7 years. I think that's what.
Yes, bad sex.
Yeah.
Bad sex. But yeah, basically, like my mom just kind of brought new and different things to our
now you're
attention.
jumping from bad sex to your mom. I'm so sorry.
Bad sex to my mom. I know, just keep it going.
Yes, your mom definitely did.
100%. But yeah, as I told you guys, like we had some ups and downs and disappointments in the whole moving process. We had found an apartment at the beginning that we really did like, but in hindsight, I'm really happy we aren't there because, excuse me, wine burp.
Good, let it out. Better out than in.
Totally.
Shrek.
Did you watch Shrek on Peacock, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched all 3 Shreks on Peacock.
Okay. So like obviously we share accounts now that we share a TV, and I was logging into Peacock at home with Olivia because we were watching Below Deck, and I was like, I bet Liz watched Shrek. I'm not even kidding.
I love Shrek. It's my favorite movie. It really, really is. And I was feeling like down bad that day for whatever reason. And I was like, you know what? Shrek will pick me up.
Shrek will pick anybody up. It's such a good
movie.
Such a good movie. Did you see Puss in Boots?
Did I? I don't think so.
Yeah. Olivia and I saw it. It's like the one with
the one that just came out, right?
Yeah.
No, I did not see that.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It was a good story.
Is
it was
on
a good
Peacock?
story. I don't know. It's on one of them. It may be Disney Plus.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. We got it all, you guys.
We got it all.
We got it all. But yeah, the first apartment, disappointment. But yeah, hindsight 2020, like really happy we're not there because I would have had to ask my parents for some help financially with it, which like, I don't know, like I'm happy that I don't have to do that, but also like this space that we're in now is just like so
much better.
It's just like so homey.
Very homey. And I think the other one we were infatuated with.
Yes, it was the first one we saw, and we were just like, holy shit, this place is
oh my gosh. The kitchen was stunning.
Divine.
But I do love our kitchen more.
Yeah.
I love our kitchen.
Yeah. It was just like this really big living space. But what's nice about where we live now is like we're not having to give up a good living space for tiny bedrooms. Like the other space had a really big living space, but both of the rooms were really tiny.
But can quote unquote fit a queen?
A queen. I was like,
definitely not.
Yeah, they were really tight. This space, our rooms are huge. Like guys, my room here is like bigger than my room in my home.
Same.
Yeah. And what's nice about the apartment is we have really big ceilings, which leads me to
high.
Yeah.
Really
big,
high.
Not big ceilings, high ceilings. Something that leads me to like advice for people moving to the city or wanting to move to New York is something that actually that first realtor told us or told me, I think, because you were at work was like, make sure you have a strong pros and cons list for the things that you want. Like for us, something that we knew we did not want to negotiate on was lighting.
Yeah.
We were like, huge. We want good lighting in our apartment. And so that was something we were always looking for. Like, and we didn't even end up seeing that many places. I think 4 places in total.
Yeah. But all 4 had great natural light.
Yeah. So we were like, the lighting is what is most important to us.
And that's also one thing that we did though before even moving in. Because
Yeah.
I remember we went out to Haiku.
Yes.
And we sat down. We were like, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
It might be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but
like,
we
what's
got to
your-
get it out.
Right. Like I feel like especially if you're gonna live with a close friend, like you really need to be honest about like, hey, this is my budget. Like this is the max I'm willing to go. Like these are the things that I would like in my space. Like I think we were like, oh, you know, like we'd like to have like a laundry somewhere in the building. It doesn't necessarily need to be a unit. Like I think we were like, we really want an elevator. We were like,
I remember being like, oh, I don't
else?
need a dishwasher. And now that we have it, I use it all the
I
time.
know.
I love her.
Yeah, no, I'm happy we have a dishwasher,
Yeah.
especially like because like we have a pretty good kitchen, but like the counter space can be limited.
Yeah.
And so it makes it easier with like the counter space. It's actually a pretty big dishwasher for like the space.
It is.
Because usually the dishwashers like for that kind of
Very
space
tiny,
would be
but no.
tiny. But I also wrote down some like things, the like advice to know. I want to say all of this because something that I didn't know going into the whole like moving out process was like the papers that you would
Oh
need
my
for your
gosh, so
applications.
much.
Yeah, well I remember one time like looking because I had watched influencers move out and they would be like, oh yeah, like you need to have your papers ready. But nobody tells you which papers. So
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you guys because I'm a helpful girl. Okay. So usually it's like the last 2 to 4 bank statements, your letter of employment, license, your credit report, the last 2 tax returns, your last 2 W-2s, and then your apartment will probably have some form of like application with like, you know, your phone number, your social security number, like those things. And like you have to go through an application process. Like if you're going to move to the city, like that's just the T.
And your credit score too.
Yes.
That was
And your
huge,
credit
yeah.
score. Yes.
And your credit report.
Right.
Which I had never downloaded before.
Yeah.
And I freaked out. I think I was like, what is it supposed to be this many pages?
Oh yeah.
Because I only sent, I think, just the number.
Yeah.
And I remember you sending that and then them asking me like for the whole packet.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't know.
Right.
Like,
No, it's
new.
it's a new thing. And then also like transparently, if you're going to have somebody that is going to be, what is it called? A guarantor,
yeah.
they need to send all of that information too. Like something that like I would do next time is like have these things like at the beginning of the process ready to go because this process moves fast. And so if you find something that you like I've heard stories of people like literally walking into apartments, especially like if you're looking in areas that are like very popular to live in, like maybe like the West Village or something like
Be
that.
ready with the booklet.
Like people
here
are
it
like
is.
literally they'll send the application while they're at the apartment, which is insane to me.
I definitely think from the first apartment that didn't work out to this one, we were better prepared.
Yes. Oh, 100%. Because the first one we felt a little like slighted in the situation. And so we were like, this isn't happening again. Like we are gonna like be on it.
Who wants to pay more for rent? I'm still.
Yeah,
It's
guys,
bizarre to me.
the person who got our apartment, the apartment,
yeah.
So they like bid higher than us, and then we were able to meet like that. It was like just like kind of like a redistribution of the rent.
Yeah, we had agreed to 1 month free.
Yes,
And they were like, well, no, we won't take it. Like, we'll just pay full price. And we were
Right.
like, okay.
like
And then they were like, are you willing to match? And we were like, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it.
And they were like, well, now we'll pay more rent. And we were like,
Fuck
screw
no.
that. Are you
Like,
kidding
It was
me?
already like I'll be transparent. It was already like $4,200, which is
Yeah.
a lot of money. And I feel like it's still like expensive. Like I still think it's a lot of money, but I will say that space is big,
Yeah.
and so like I felt like it more justified like than like living in a shoebox for $4,200. But like still, like I was like, no, we were like, no.
And everything there was fully renovated here too. But over there, it was definitely a lot more modern. Like you had the open kitchen, you had
Yes.
a great entertainment space. Holy
Yeah,
shit! Like
it was huge.
The rooms were tiny though.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have been happy there. No, actually, I know we would not have been happy there.
Especially because, like I said at the beginning of this episode, I love doing my makeup, and so something that's like really important is my ritual around makeup, and I like to like sit down at a desk, and I wasn't going to be able to have that there because I didn't want to have a full size bed because my partner sleeps with me all the time, and so I was like, I need a bigger bed for the both of us. But when once we got to this apartment, we knew. Like we saw it, and that night I was like,
well, I remember when you sent the photos was like, nah, this is too good to be true. This
No,
is all a
yes.
lie. Like, what is wrong with this place? I have yet to find one thing, but we'll talk about that at the end.
Yeah.
But what's wrong with this place?
No,
it's
literally.
a phenomenal space to live in, honestly.
Yeah. No, I know. I remember, so I remember seeing our apartment on Zillow, like while we were still looking at the other place. And I was like, oh, this place looks like decent. And it was a good price and whatever. But, we were all in the other place. And then, after, I think we took like a couple days off. Like I took a couple days to mourn that first experience.
It was sad. It felt like a breakup.
Yes, it
was
did.
like, oh my gosh.
Because we had the hope. We were like, oh my God. Like, because, I had started looking for this thing randomly. And then it was going to be like, all right, we're going to be moving in somewhere October 15th.
I had told people. Also, don't do that. Don't tell people until everything is signed. Like, you're ready. Like, you have the keys in your hand, because it might happen what happened to us. Like,
yeah, no,
we thought we were going to move in.
You guys, like, we literally, like, it was this close. Applications, all these things. Yeah, it was insane. But yeah, like, I needed a couple days to like mourn that breakup, mourn that loss in my life. And then I started looking again, and I saw this place, and the same thing happened. I was like, this place looks too good for its price. Like, I just feel like, no, you gotta be kidding me. But then I sent it to my mom, and she was like, that looks good. You should see it. And so, like, kind of the validation from her was like, all right, let's go see it. Yeah. And then we saw it, and bada bing, bada boom, like, made it happen.
It's crazy seeing the videos, because I think both of us took videos while this place was empty.
Yeah.
And now seeing it furnished. I remember I did not like that yellow door in our kitchen.
Yes.
I really was not a fan, but she has grown on me.
Yeah.
I love her now.
Yeah. I mean, she's an interesting color.
Yes.
Like, not my first choice, but I wasn't sad by her.
I was.
Yeah.
And I was like, I cannot live. But it does allow me to live my Marvelous Mrs. Maisel experience.
Yes, 100%.
Because we have two doors.
We have two doors.
It's cool.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So now that we've lived here for like 2 months, what are our thoughts? What is our rating? What is our review?
Oh, my rating. I will have to give it, honestly, like a solid 9.7.
Yeah, I was going to say like somewhere at like a 9. Like I was
like a high 9. Like, yeah, it's
like, it's a great apartment. Yeah. And I think, like, especially as somebody that works from home a lot, like, it's a great space to work into, like, because of the space we have, like, and now we have our couch, which I love.
Amazing.
It is such a comfy couch. It's from West Elm. I don't remember the name of it. Maybe I'll give it to Audrey, or I'll put it somewhere on social media, but my mom was kind enough to gift me a couch, and it is like the best thing ever.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Liddy.
Yeah. And I told you this, it reminds me, my mom and dad had this blue couch for forever. Like, I remember living in London, and we had it, and when I was just born, and we brought it to New York with us, and then it got raggedy enough that we had to throw it away. But like,
your brothers even remember it.
Yeah, like, I told my mom, I was like, this couch is my blue couch. Like, she is coming with me everywhere.
She's great.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, we'll work from home here, like when I stay here and work too. Like,
it was nice. The first like couple weeks were hard because we didn't have the couch, and I think that was the missing piece. Yeah, was like, we needed a general space because we had this amazing TV like all set up, and then we were like, we only had these chairs which we're sitting in, and like, they're fine, but they're not like the most comfortable thing ever.
I think it took a while for me to adjust in the beginning. Okay. Because we didn't have like a common space.
Right. Yeah.
So at the beginning, I was just like, oh no, I don't want like us to be in our own rooms and just be like separate like all the time. Like, and it took me a while. I was like, oh, like, I really hope like this turns around. And then the couch came, and boom. I think the first night we were like, we're watching a movie.
Yeah, I think it's hard because like at night you just like want to be cozy and stuff like that. And so I found it hard to just like sit in these chairs. Like, my ass would hurt. Yeah, and I'd be like, all right, like, I'm just gonna go to my room and watch TV in there. But yeah, I agree. Like, as soon as the couch came, I felt like 1,000 times better, because I was like, okay, like, we have a couch. Yes. And then like slowly the other pieces of the puzzle like sort of got like put together, and now we basically have everything except for dining room chairs.
Yes, but we don't need those for right now.
Yeah, for right now, like, we're good. Like, we just like use these chairs, or sometimes I'll bring my desk chair over. But yeah, like we've really kind of made it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I just think it's an adjustment in general, and things like take some time for you to just like get used to. Kind of like what you said the other day. I feel like coming back from Christmas break, like I was like, oh, like I'm going back home.
Yes.
Like this is where I live. And like now, like my room at home doesn't seem as like appetizing to me anymore. I'm like, oh, I want my room with all my shit in it. Yeah.
I remember my mom being like, "We'll just stay one more day," and I was like, "I love you, but I need to go home." And I was like, "Oh, home!" Like,
I know.
It's in the city.
I know.
And I think it's a dream that we've both had too.
Oh
like,
yeah, 100%. Yeah. So. I feel like I've always wanted to like live in the city in like some capacity for some amount of time.
Like little Liz is very proud of me right now.
Aww,
so
that's
without
so
getting too
cute.
sappy. But yeah.
That's so cute. Yeah, no, I feel like it's been a good time, and I feel like the only pet peeve I have is just like my job is not located in a great spot. So I do have like the same amount of commuting time as I would have had from Westchester. Yeah. But I think like the hard thing about New York City today is that to live in the midst of it all is so fucking expensive.
It is.
Like to live anywhere close to my job would be me like living in Chelsea or like the Columbus Circle area, and that's really fucking expensive.
And we spoke about this too, like before, because I remember seeing the commute and I was like, are you cool with this?
Right. I don't think at first I really realized like how like it would affect me, and TBH it really doesn't anymore. I think that first like month and a half was a huge adjustment, and I'm just like a complainer. Like I complain about everything. Like,
but you find solutions to things.
Yeah, 100%.
Without jumping too forward, and because that's one of my responses.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I try. But yeah, I think that was like my only like thing. But yeah, it's hard to live in a lot of locations in the city without paying like literally an arm and a leg,
and living in a small space.
Yes. Because like sure, we could have like for the same price as the apartment that we first looked at, we could have probably maybe found something like in the West Village. Yeah. But it may be the size of our living room, and that's like.
I don't think we would have been happy.
No. Living on top of people is like really hard.
Yeah. It's just not it.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, this is a fun question. So, what is something that like we learned about each other from the last 2 months of living together?
You're afraid to cook chicken.
Yes, that is.
But you got a thermometer.
I did. Olivia got me a thermometer for Christmas, but that's actually like a serious like a phobia. Like people have it.
I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
It freaks me out. Yesterday I cooked some steak.
Yes.
And the middle stayed a little too raw for me, and it skeeved me out. I'm still like a little worried for my tummy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like even today, I cooked some chickens that were even like pre-made, and like I had the instructions, and like something about the smell, I was just like, I can't eat this.
But I think you're slowly starting to open yourself up more, like to like cooking and experimenting with cooking.
Yeah, I think and I've always said this, like I think where I struggle with cooking is my patience. Like I think I'm just like after a long day of work, like the last thing I want to do is cook.
That's so crazy. When Erin came over, I was like, wow, like cooking really does take a lot of patience.
Yes.
It really, really does.
Yeah. It's like it's hard. And like I know something that Olivia talks about with their struggle with cooking is like it's hard to time everything. Yeah. So if you're making two separate things, like I know they'll be like making eggs and bacon, which is literally like
no, but they got it down to a great timing. Yeah,
they're like it's just like so hard to figure out which way to go.
I think with me cooking, cooking, but working in like a dining facilities, I get a lot of my tips from the chefs.
100%. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
And I ask them all the time.
Yeah, that's a really good. Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've spoken to my boss about this too, and he's like, good. Like, ask us all the questions. Like, he's a professional chef too.
I bet he likes it.
Yeah. No, and they've definitely helped me. Like, they've made me like some sauces, some seasonings, like things like that, which you've seen in the fridge.
Yeah, which is so sweet.
Yeah. No, they're the best for sure.
No, you've been really chefing it up. I give you major props. You're like putting yourself out there. It's like dating. You're putting yourself out there with the food.
I just got a cast iron. Now I need to get into dating, but cooking first, then dating.
Everybody's getting into dating.
Everyone. Also, you like to sing, which we know, but it's you'd sing like little bits and pieces. Like the other day was jingle bells, Batman smells, Rowan and Lane, and it got stuck in our heads for the longest time. And then we just went on to another one.
Yeah,
it was fun.
I do that a lot. I know. I do that. I do sing. Like sometimes, like I would be like sitting in the couch, like at my home with my mom, and she'd be like, "Stop singing." Yeah, I do. I do that a lot. That's 100% true.
You are also, which I knew this, but I think just seeing you in action, very committed to both your jobs.
Oh, thanks.
And just really like growing your career and just like doing the best. But seeing you in action, I'm just like, damn, like this girl's gonna go places.
Oh, that's so kind. Because sometimes I feel like I'm like a mess. Yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm really like at this like really fortunate place in my life where I really like the job that pays me money, and I love the podcast, and I hope that one day that this gets to be the full-time thing. But like, yeah, I feel like I'm in a really grateful place in like my work life, because for the last 2 years it's been like this like I don't know what I want or what's gonna happen to me, and I think like that can be very scary. I mean, I always knew this about you from like social media, because Liz would literally like Snapchat us from like your office and stuff like that. But like, yeah, you are a committed worker. Like sometimes you'll come home at 10 p.m. and I was like, girl, I would have left at 5. I'm like, you have dedication, because I would walk in I would like, and you don't complain about it. Like I would complain about it.
Really? I feel like I complain about it all the time.
Really?
So that's like really good to know.
I feel like you don't. Like, you know, like you're like, yeah, I have to do this, but like you're like, it's, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. Like I would just make like the biggest bitch fit about it. Like literally, you guys, like my job is starting February 1st, you know, we have to go back in office like full time, not actually full time. It's only Tuesday and Thursday, which is fine. But my office, my job, whatever you want to call it, the company, that's it. The company also has another location in LIC. And they have decided that all the creators are going to go to this location in LIC. It is the same commute as my Hudson Yards commute.
Yes, like 0.1 miles
but
longer.
Let me tell you, I am more upset about it. I am more upset about having to go to Long Island City than I am Hudson Yards. And like, I am just like throwing like a bitch fit at anybody that'll listen to it. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
You saw the email and really you were like, absolutely not. I was like, what happened?
Literally, because I just like jumped to I was like, what the fuck? yeah, I was like not happy about it, but it will be good for me. Like I think as much as I do like enjoy the luxuries of working at home, and I'll get to work from home Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like I think it'll be good for me to have a place to go every week, because sometimes, because basically with my job right now, like I'll have a week where I work from home the entire week, and as much as you tell yourself you're gonna go, and
was that them?
Oh, is that the boy? We'll tell you about this in a second. As much as like it's nice to have the luxury and the flexibilities of working from home, like you can really isolate yourself. And I've noticed like my social anxiety increase more as the more and more I work from home. So yeah, but our runner, is he running?
He is in fact run. What time is it?
In
8:30 every day.
Like clockwork, you guys. So like we've said, there is literally not. Like this is like a very minimal
This is probably
issue.
the only thing that like deducted points from
it.
And it's not bad.
It's not bad. Not bad. So there's like a lot of kids in the building, right? And so the people that live over us have a child, and this child, so he must go, or she must go, or whoever they must go to like a daycare during the day, because I work from home. Like I don't hear the child whatsoever, but around 3 or 4 every day. And it's just like running back and forth. And then the child
stops.
And then it stops. And then it happens again.
From
like
8:30 to 9:30.
Yeah.
On the dot.
And I'm like, what is up with this kid? It just like makes me laugh, because every time we hear or like the child thudding around, we're like, there's the runner.
It must be 8:30.
I know. And that makes me think, I'm like, oh my God, like what do we sound like to our downstairs
Yeah,
neighbors?
I thought about that too.
Because I like to vacuum and I have like loud ass chairs. I'm like,
I think the first couple of weeks I was still adjusting. So I kept getting up to the kitchen and walking back and like moving and all that. And I'm like, damn, this must be so annoying to the people downstairs. Yeah. Like 12 a.m. I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
But everyone in the building's very nice.
Oh my God.
Everyone's super nice, super helpful.
Yeah, they're really, really kind.
Yeah.
So I think, when you find a place that makes you feel good and like home, you know, it feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to continue like making memes here. It's only been 2 months, which is kind of crazy.
Wait, what have you learned about me?
Oh my God, I didn't say that to you. I didn't say it. So my number one thing that I've learned about Liz is that you're the best handyman alive.
Thank you.
Literally, this is something I did not, like, literally, we've been friends for so long and literally did not know about you until we moved in together, because Liz just started building shit. Like at night, like you'd come home from work and it like seemed like it was something that like kind of relaxed you and calmed you down.
Really does.
You would just start building things and I was like, I feel bad. Like, should I get involved? But I hate building things.
Oh, no. I was like, Sarah, just
yeah,
chill,
you were like
just
chilling.
chill.
I was like, okay. So Liz was like building like everything in this apartment. We got this like console stand from Wayfair and I like paid for somebody to come and build it. And Liz got home and was like, no, this person did this wrong, that wrong, and was like screwing shit.
I went in,
like,
got the little toolbox.
Literally. And then we just got a shoe cabinet from Wayfair and you did that. Like it
the
was
bar cart.
Oh my God, the bar cart looked like an undertaking.
No, the bar cart was interesting. She was fun to make.
But it looks good.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Like it is incredible. Like your patience with it, just because also like my dad is the same way. Like we
I love it.
Building things.
I love it.
Literally hate it.
When my bed came, because my bed's like from home.
Yeah.
I built that.
That's
I
insane.
was just like, give it to me. When I was high school, like my friends' families, like they would have like a cabinet or like just something, and I'll just sit there and I would have built it.
That's insane. Yeah. That's like that's a green flag for whoever you're in a relationship with next.
Thanks.
That is a green flag. And then the other thing I've learned about you is you're a TV watcher.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you always have the TV going and you're usually like watching older TV shows like Sex and the City, Gossip Girl. And then lately Liz has been watching The Sopranos for the first time.
It's so good.
I know. And I've been like picking up pieces here and there, but it's made me like almost want to watch it myself.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm on, what did I start? I started like Thursday.
You literally started like the other day.
Season 2.
Yeah, I think
like
you started this
4.
weekend, right?
Maybe.
On
No.
Sunday.
No. I started on
Monday.
On the 1st.
New
New
Soprano.
shows. I was also severely hungover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really good from like the bits and pieces I've seen.
It's so good. It's
Yeah.
so good. Like
Yeah.
I'm at work and I'm so excited to come home to watch The Sopranos.
Aww.
And like people at work have also watched it and
Right.
love it. So like I'll go like to work like tomorrow and they'll be like, so what did you watch today? Like
Right.
yesterday. And I'll be like, oh my God, so happened.
Well, that's the best part about like like having a really good show. It's like I'm so excited to go home and watch my show. Like,
It's been a while.
Actually, no, I do have that feeling about Below Deck, but Olivia, Olivia and I watch Below Deck together, and this season with Captain Sandy on the med is crazy. Natalia is acting like a wild woman, and I just like cannot wait to see like what continues happening.
Well, for us, it's The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do after this is watch The Real Housewives.
Sutton, girly, I need to know.
Name them.
Name them.
What did she say to the other girl? What she was repeating to Dorit?
She was like, tell me.
Yeah,
tell me.
Name them.
Girl.
Name them. Okay, before we go, have you had any clueless moments involving the apartment?
The kid.
The kid.
Honestly, I just want to know.
Yeah, we gotta meet the kid before we ever leave this place. We gotta meet the kid. My thing is the dust, you guys.
So dusty. And it's not even. It's just like I don't even know.
I don't know where it comes from. I'll like literally clean like my room or like do something. Excuse me, wine burp. I'll do something out here and there'll be dust the next day.
Yeah,
it's insane.
We can clean like all day, every day, but we do need an air purifier. I think that will help us a lot.
We're both gonna order one tonight and like see, and hopefully it does work well. But everybody I've told about it is like get an air purifier
because we're both like fairly clean people and like we keep the common space very clean. Our room's clean. It just doesn't make any sense. Like the windows will be closed.
Yeah.
The door, like no.
And we have radiators.
Yeah.
So it's,
And they're covered.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like what the fuck, you guys?
We'll see how the air purifier does for us.
I'll keep you guys updated.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on the pod.
Thank you for having me.
This was so fun.
I love it.
Cheers to us in the apartment.
Yes.
You guys know where you can follow us. You can follow us on Instagram at Completely Fucking Clueless and TikTok and YouTube at Completely FCKING Clueless. If you did like this episode, please don't forget to rate and review and subscribe and follow and all those lovely things. We hope you guys have an amazing Tuesday, an amazing week. And you want to say it?
And don't forget to be motherfucking clueless.
Yeah! Cheers, you guys.
I always wanted to say that. We didn't say it the last episode. It was so sad.
I forget sometimes.
This has been a 58 Ember production. For more shows, please visit the 58 Ember channel, 58ember.com, or find us at 58 Ember Media on socials.